Hey guys, this is Real Appalachia with Melody.
And Shane.
I started to say Shane because I'm so used to that.
Hey, that's fine. I'm part of it, so I just go with it.
We're continuing on with our folklore and legends series here, and we hope that you guys are liking these videos so far. What are we going to talk about today, Shane?
Well, we're going to talk about, there's two subjects that always grab people's attention when it comes to Appalachia.
What's that?
Moonshining and Melungeons. People just go wild over both of those topics.
Yeah,
so this is like mixing chocolate and peanut butter together.
Oh.
I have got it. This is the story of the Catchable but not Fetchable Moonshiner.
Okay.
You're going to love this.
Yes.
Well, it all starts in 1800s, and when you think about moonshiners, typical, there's a stereotype about those guys, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the skinny, bearded type, sitting back in the woods, right?
Yeah, just some old scrawny guy, a little shifty. I mean, Popcorn Sutton embodies.
He really does, yeah.
First thing I thought, before he existed, that would have been the first thing I thought of, because I've known a few moonshiners, and they all kind of that way.
Yeah.
But not this gal. For one thing, one thing, it's a gal.
Okay.
And another thing, she's a Melungeon.
Right.
So, and if you're not familiar with what a Melungeon is, that's a triracial group that's kind of mysterious, and we'll talk about that in a future video as well. But I'm going to assume that you can either look that up or you kind of know what a Melungeon is. Are we good with that? Can we buy into that?
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward. Like I said, this story starts back in the 1800s, and there's a lady named Mahala Big Haley Mullins. And to get a nickname like Big Haley, you got to kind of earn that.
Oh, yeah.
She earned it.
Yeah.
Because this gal tipped the scales at between 400 and 700 pounds, is estimated.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. They speculated that it might be based upon some thyroid condition she may have had.
Right.
Or a little disease called elephantitis, maybe. Elephantiasis, or that.
Part of it.
Okay. So you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
You have a medical background, which I don't, so you have an unfair advantage.
Exactly.
So maybe you could diagnose it for us all right here and now. But long story short, she was a big old gal. Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
And she had a big old family.
Okay.
She had 18 to 20 children.
Well, that might be why she was so big too.
I know, that could be. She had a husband named John, and he passed away at a fairly young age, and that'd probably be having that many kids.
Wore him out.
Make the well man sick. But so after moving right along. But so that left her in a bad position. So she had these 18 to 20 kids to feed. Oh my
goodness, yeah.
And all they had was a little small subsistence farm. So they had to find another way to make money. And well, they happened to have one good talent. They made some really good apple brandy.
Oh.
Yeah. So they started selling that, and it got a little bit of a local reputation.
Yeah.
And then it grew, and then it grew. And people kept hearing about it, and more people wanted some of it. She'd sell some out of a community dipper, which was she'd just have it and just give you
Oh, wow.
Yeah, come up there,
a little swig, you're having a rough day.
Get your snout full, I guess is what they call it sometimes. And so, well, when other people hear about it, guess who else hears about it? Law enforcement.
The cops.
Yes, the cops. And then they always have to ruin a good time. But, oh well. So a warrant was issued for her arrest, right? So they come up here to arrest her. Well, they come through and find out Big Haley is a big woman.
Yeah.
So they come up here and they're trying to figure out how in this world are we going to get this gal off this hill. Because her cabin, and I visited it recently. I've got some video footage we'll show here. It was up on top of Newman's Ridge. It was up in this weird corner, and it's way up. It's hard to get to. And there was, back then, obviously, it was before cars or anything like that. And there wasn't a train that close by. So it's like, man, what are we going to do?
Right.
So they go in there, and Big Haley was a very jovial woman, very pleasant, and nice to be around. So she quickly confessed to her crime. She didn't lie about it, didn't deny it, or anything else. The problem was getting to do it and doing anything with her. So
yeah, and she knew that.
Yeah, I'm sure she probably did.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason she sold it too. She just enjoyed company.
Yeah.
She's confined by the time she started selling
True.
The time she started selling it, she was confined to a chair.
Right.
She was so big she couldn't leave her house. She was too big to fit through the door, literally.
Wow.
So they were trying to figure out, well, what in the world are we going to do? So they couldn't get her, and they left. Well, over the years, dozens of warrants were issued for her arrest because she was just flaunting it. And so they go back to arrest her again, and they figured out, well, the only way we can get her is to remove part of this house. Well, they weren't authorized to do that, so they were just stuck. Yeah. So it went on, and at this time was where the famous words were said by the deputy. They came back and reported another failure in arresting her, and they said, well, she's catchable, but not fetchable. So they had to pretty much just give it up, and she lived out her life unarrested, I guess is the best way to put it. But she, when she passed away, they had to take out the chimney to remove her body from there.
I read that they had to actually build a coffin around her bed. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what.
Because there would be no coffin there. Of course they would have to build a custom coffin, but wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so she was catchable but not fetchable, and it's funny she's buried in that area, and so after that, it's kind of funny that she was a large woman in life, right? But she's the most famous Melungeon.
Yeah.
So she actually became larger than life after life. So
yeah, I've heard a lot about her here lately, but I don't know a whole lot. But I read somewhere, I think that did she live near the county line or something like that? It seems like I read something like police would come to her house and she would have like the barrels of the stuff, and that she would roll it to the other side of the house so it would be out of their jurisdiction. Have you read anything like that?
I hadn't heard that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so someone like she's pretty smart, and she knew that she wasn't fetchable.
Yeah, she was outside, just a little bit outside the town limits of Sneedville. If you go to Newman's Ridge, that's the home of Melungeons. It's just a really it's central headquarters, I guess, if you're going to say that about where Melungeon heritage comes from. So she lived up there, and it's beautiful place to visit. But it's just interesting to think that it is.
And my heart kind of goes out. Like you said, she probably enjoyed the company. She needed the money. That was something that she could do and be home and have a lot of people come in and have the interaction. So, of course, I'm always compassionate for people. Maybe I shouldn't be, but
Well, this poor guy has all these kids and all that stuff. I gotta be honest too, I'm a little bit a fan of the moonshine myself, so
yeah, that will cure any kind of sickness you get, bronchitis or pneumonia. But
it's the best. Yeah, they probably just bought it for medicine. That's what. She was
medicinal.
She was just an unlicensed pharmacist. But that's the story of Big Haley Mullins, and you can see that in this book right here.
Yes, that's a good one.
Back. Legends and Lore of East Tennessee. It is available on Amazon. Or I'll put my email address here if you want to buy one signed directly from me. I'll cut you a deal on that too, or if you've already got it, God bless you. That's a wrap on this video. If you like it, please comment any stories you'd like for us to talk about, and again, like, share, subscribe, and just watch us. That's all we ask for.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys on the next video.